Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Fraser Nation in the building. Your host, Fraser. Today, I bring you another episode from the Trigonometry Chronicles. This is 2.3. It's really 2.6 in your book. We're graphing systems of linear inequalities. This is the part where we shade things. So let's say when we talk about inequalities, we're talking about shading because there's more than one solution. Okay, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna do some shading for this section. I suggest different colored inks or colored pencils or whatever. Obviously, I have the glory of Promethean board software, so I don't have to go through that problem. I know you probably hear that little buzz. That's my fan. I'm crunching on another video right now. The video after this actually. But anyway, students will be able to graph systems of linear inequalities. So remember, equation of a line. Okay, you guys remember this. You remember y equals mx plus b. M, which is slope, is rise over run. Okay, I know you're probably used to the actual fraction, so let's write that down. Rise over run. This is always to the right. Let's write that down. Write that down. Always to the right, okay? You can either go up or go down, but you always going to go to the right, and that's an ugly word. Let's try that one more time. For the one time. Always to the right. Okay. Your B is going to be your starting point. So whatever number's in front of the X, that's always a fraction. Your B is always your starting point, wherever you start from. Whenever you have x equals a number, so let's say I have x equals 3 and y equals like -2. Well, on the coordinate plane, when I say vertical number, I mean a number that goes up and down. So here would be x equals 3. Okay, so this one right here, let me see if I can be so slick. Where are you? X. Nah, I'm not going to be able to do that. But anyway, this is x equals 3. I know that's kind of ugly. And then at y equals -2, horizontal means left to right. Okay. So you'll have that in your homework. Just know what you have vertical and horizontal. Whenever you have less than equal to or greater than equal to, these lines under it mean solid lines. If they don't have anything under there, they're dashed lines, and you'll see that in the examples. And this is an important one right here that I might not have said before. If you divide or multiply by a negative number, you have to switch the inequality. So if I have something like 4x is, -4x is greater than y plus 3, and I divide everything by -4, -4, -4, this thing here has to change. Okay, so this will be x. Switch your inequality, and then this is going to be 1/4 y plus -3/4. Okay, so the point is I had to switch, and let's make that a little bit cuter, a little bit more right. I have to switch my inequality, people. Okay, so this changes to that. Next card. So first and foremost, I want to point your attention to this. Your test point has to be 0, 0. It doesn't have to be. Most of the time, it's going to be 0, 0. That means you're going to plug in a 0 where your x is. You're going to plug in a 0 where your y is. Okay? You'll see that on the following examples. Rise over run, people. Run always goes to the right. Okay? So, change your inequalities to y equals mx plus b form. Okay? The only time that doesn't happen is if you have vertical or horizontal lines. Graph your starting point, so graph your B, apply your slope, so go rise, run, and then connect the dots. And remember, if they're dashed, they're solid, okay? Use your test point. If it works, shade that region. If it doesn't work, shade the opposite region. I'm gonna try to show you in the examples what to do and how you should do that. The regions should intersect. If they don't intersect, you have no solution to the system. Let's go ahead. Next card. So, you have a test point, 0, 0. Are these in y equals mx plus b form? They are certainly not. Mx plus b. Okay, so you need to have this. We don't have that. So we're acting like the equal sign and the inequality are the same thing. So I have to color code some things. Let's make this red and let's make this blue. Okay, and I want you to follow along with me. The first step was put it in y equals mx plus b form. So in red, I have to subtract x on both sides. Okay, because I want to get rid of this and get my y by itself. So this is y, which is greater than or equal to negative x plus 1. Okay, and the reason I did that is I cannot combine x and 1, so they stay separate. So let's figure this out. What number is in front of my x? Negative 1. So m equals negative 1 over 1. Okay, my starting point is going to be 1, so I'm going to start at 1. Okay. And then in blue, I have to add x on both sides, inverse operation. Add x on both sides, cross these out, and y is going to stay there. So y is less than or equal to x minus 1. Okay, so y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b. M is equal to 1 over 1. B is going to be negative 1. Okay, so graph your starting points, apply your slope, connect your dots. Okay, so let's do red first. Okay, so let's see. So I start at 1. So in red, I'm gonna start here. Okay, I'm going to go down 1. Okay, so slope, I fall down 1 and then I go to the right 1. So I go down 1 to the right 1. And then I have to connect my points. Okay, so being that the line is under here, I need a solid line. So, and obviously I have this line. So there I go. Connect your points. So graph your starting point, apply your slope, connect your line. Let's try that again with the blue. Okay, so I'm going to start at negative 1. Okay, start at negative 1. So there is my negative 1. I'm going to go up 1 and over 1. Up 1, over 1. Okay, and I have to connect my lines. So here is my other connect point. And look, it is not a dash, it's a solid line because that line is under there. So next, use your test point and shade the appropriate regions. Okay, so first and foremost, my test point is 0, 0. Plug in a 0 for y, plug in a 0 for x. Okay, so for this equation, let's kind of meander over here. 0 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so I plug 0 in. Negative 0 plus 1. Simplify that. Is 0 greater than or equal to 1? No. So on your two equations, here's your test point. Here's 0 on the x, 0 for the y. If it's true, you're going to shade this region. If it's false, you're gonna do this region. And the reason that is because your test point, if it doesn't work, if this point doesn't work, nothing on this side of your red line works. Okay, all the points on the opposite side is going to work. So being that this is false, then I have to shade the false region. So I'm gonna shade all this. And that's why you want to do color pencils, okay? Make it look cute and pretty and all that jazz. Okay? So, there we go. Now, to do the blue. Again, here's your test point. Okay? And then here's your true region. Okay? Because your test point is on this side of the blue line. And then your false region is on this side of the line. Okay? So, let's do that. Plug in 0 for the y. 0 is less than or equal to 0 minus 1. So is 0 less than or equal to negative 1? That is a false statement. Okay? So I'm going to shade my false region, and let's do something a little thicker than that. So if you do your shading, and actually let's not do that. Let's go ahead. Let's do it like I did the first time. This is false. And I have to shade everything in my false region. Okay. And then in your steps, the regions that intersect is going to be your solution. So being that the red and the blue meet in this region, then this is your answer region. Okay. So let's go ahead. You know, red and blue make purple. So let's go ahead. This is going to be your answer, okay, where your two regions intersect, okay? So if this is confusing, I promise you, if you go step by step, it will make sense to you, okay? Next card. Let's go in blue. And let's see, is this y equals mx plus b form? Both of them are, okay? So my m, whatever's in front of my x, so this is m equals 1 over 1. My b is equal to 3 in red. My m is equal to 1 over 1. My b is equal to negative 1. Okay. Let's go ahead. My starting point is at 3. Okay. Rise over run. Let's see if you guys need that. I know you don't, but if you do, let's go up 1 over 1. Okay. Connect your dot. This is a solid line, so I'm going to use a solid line. Oops. Let's not do that. There is my solid line. Okay. And then in red, negative 1. So let's start at negative 1. We go up 1 over 1 and then connect. This is a dashed line because there's no line under there. So here's my dashed line. Okay. So in blue, remember, where's your test point at? Let's say test point. Okay. So test point 0, 0. Okay, so this is X, this is Y. And then here's your test point for the blue. Okay, so this is your true side of the line. This is your false side of the line. Okay, in red, and you know, do this if this helps you. In red, here's your test point. So this is the true part of your line. This is the false part of your line. Okay, so in blue, test point 0. Let's go ahead and meander right here. 0 is greater than or equal to 0 plus 3. 0 is greater than or equal to 3. That is a false statement. Okay. So we're going to shade everything on the false side of the line. Okay. Okay. And then in red, same thing. Okay. So here's my test point. And let's do this one right here. So 0 is less than 0 minus 1. 0 is less than negative 1. That is false. Okay. So here's the false side of the line. Uh-oh. You see the problem, don't you? These regions do not intersect. Okay? So since there's no intersect, let's write this down. No intersect. There's a C right there, people. No intersect. No solution. No bueno. Okay? So being that neither one of my regions are going to cross at any point, and that's because you have parallel lines, they're never going to meet, then you have no solution. Next card. Let's color code. So first and foremost, y equals a number. This is going to be a horizontal line, okay? I don't need to figure out my starting point and slope and all that. I know it's going to start at 1. It's going to be a left to right line. Next one. This is y equals mx plus b, okay? So this is m equals negative 3 over 1. And my b, my starting point is going to be 3. And then in gray, this is going to be m equals negative 3 over 1. And my b is going to be 1. Okay? So, in red, here is going to be at 1. So, I need a horizontal line right there. Okay? In blue, it says do your start point first. So, at 3. Okay? You're going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to go over 1. And then in geometry, you know, you connect 2 points, 1 line. So here you go. And it's a dashed line. Okay. And then in gray, we're going to start at 1. So we're going to start at 1. We're going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3, and over 1. And then here's your line. Okay. Now, I admit this is going to be a little messy, but you just got to do one thing at a time. Okay. So, test points. Okay. So, for the red, here's your test point. There's your test point right here, 0, 0. So, this is the true side. This is the false side right here, okay? So, is 0 greater than 1? No. So, we have to shade the false side. Okay? In blue, here's your test region, test point. So, that means that this is going to be the true side. And the false side on the other side. So let's meander right here. 0 is less than 0 plus 3. Is 0 less than 3? That is a true statement. Okay? So I have to shade everything on this side of the line. So let's go ahead and do that. Everything on the left side of the blue line. There you go. And now I know it's a little cramped in here, but the gray line, if you look at my pen, there's your gray line. Okay. Here is your test point. You see it? And then the true part is on the left. The false side is on your right. And then in gray, let's go ahead and do your test point. Is 0 greater than 0 plus 1? Okay, so is 0 greater than 1? That is false. So you're going to have to do the left side of your gray line. And now your head has exploded because you see too much shading. And you're like, what is going on? Well, let's do this in black. Okay, if you look, there's a little tiny piece where the red, the blue, and the gray meet, okay? So down here, only the gray and blue meet. Over here is the red and the gray. But right here, all 3 of them meet up. So this right here is your region. Okay? That's your answer region. And finally, one last example. Okay. New example. Last example. In gray. Okay? I have to subtract 2x on both sides because this is not y equals mx plus b form. So subtract 2x, get your y by itself. And this is going to be 5y is less than negative 2x plus 25. Okay? Divide everything by 5. And I have y is less than negative 2 over 5x plus 5. Okay? 25 divided by 5 is 5. My m is going to be equal to negative 2 over 5. My b is going to be equal to 5. Let's go ahead and blast through these. Y equals mx plus b in red. M is equal to 3 over 1. B is equal to negative 2. And then in orange, okay, subtract 3x on all sides. And I know you guys have been waiting on this one. Negative 4y greater than negative 3x plus 12. That's a problem, okay? When you divide everything by negative 4, negative 4, negative 4, this is y greater than, see right there, I made that mistake, okay? You have to switch that bad boy, okay? If you divide by a negative number, you have to switch. So y is less than 3 over 4x minus 3, okay? So in gray, let's go ahead, plot your starting point, apply your slope, connect your dots. So at 5, go down 2 over 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here, connect your line, or connect your points with a line. There you go. In red, I'm going to start at negative 2. Okay. Go up 3, 1, 2, 3. Go over 1. Connect with a dot, or connect with a line. I don't know why I keep saying that. Sorry. And then finally, in orange, negative 3. Start here. That's supposed to be orange. And then go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let me go ahead and twist my little line around. Okay. So in gray, here's my test point. Okay. So in gray, here's my test point. So this is the true side. This is the false side. Is 0 less than 0 plus 5? Is that true or false? That is true. Okay. So you have to say all of this. Okay. You have to shade everything on the bottom of your line. In red, okay, here's your test point. Okay, so this is your true side, this is your false side. So in red, 0, let's meander down here. 0 is greater than 0 minus 2. Is 0 greater than negative 2? Yes, this is true. So I have to shade everything on this side. Okay, and let's go ahead and make that gray a little bit more obvious. Okay, and finally in orange, here's your test point. Okay. Over here, that's your true side. This is your false side. So, let's meander right here. 0 minus 0, is that greater than 12? No, that's false. So you have to shade everything on this side. And I know it's a hot mess. I get it. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, this is orange gray. Here's a little gray, red and gray. But right here is gray, orange, and red. So this is going to be your solution region. Okay? So, if you have any questions, ask me on Schoology, ask me in class. But as always, I want to tell you to bring your notes, and we're going to go step by step together. So you might as well try that first, because I'm going to do the same thing with you. Have a good one. It's been real. I'm out here.